All right, guys, here we're talking about Season 5, Episode 17 of The Twilight Zone. This might be the cheapest produced episode of the whole series.
Are you being critical of the fact that they were able to use the same two actors for
every
part or
like,
whatever?
Like they reused set pieces. I think it was the hallway from the last episode.
That was a hallway from something else, right?
I think that was the hallway from the Spaceman episode. Oh, he's aged 50 years. I think that's the same hallway.
Yeah.
I think they took that shot then.
They were like,
we got this hallway.
What are we doing next week? Guy with a cigar. Oh, we can use the same set as this week. All right, interesting, yeah.
I did think it had some great acting.
Okay.
Mostly from just that one doctor guy.
Oh.
Because he looked like three distinct people
yeah.
for this thing, and not that other people were bad. The episode's premise is, we've jumped the gun a little bit,
right.
is in this world, in the year 2000 of the Twilight Zone, all people are created equal. Literally on their 18th birthday, they can choose between at least two options, potentially more.
Well, and
there were 12 numbers, I think.
They say like you picked number 17, so we know.
17?
I'm assuming
on the board it was 8 and 12. I think.
Yeah, exactly. So for some reason I'm assuming there's about 20, something like that, perhaps
but
2
much
dozen.
Popular names, there's a lot of Peters and there's a lot of Toms. Like most people seem to pick these same two people.
Number 17
just
and
because
number 12.
That's convenient.
Number 8, number 12. Yeah, one of them.
So,
well, because those
it's
are
interesting.
Those are what's so okay. You don't have to be worried. I didn't like this episode a lot, but there are things about it that I liked a lot.
I didn't dislike the episode.
I feel because I
have problems.
You might think that I love this episode.
You love this episode
because of the pretentious or the whatever. I feel like there's probably a book or a short story that's awesome, perhaps written in 1910. That this is based on. That the concept is good and it's permeated our culture forever. Isaac Asimov or someone probably wrote something that has this exact framework. This is very basic,
But that's its problem.
Like individuality or whatever like
basic
that. Exactly.
In how it's produced too, though. Where
I like some of the ideas, is what I'm
saying.
saying.
Actors, and I don't have a problem. That
Yeah.
wouldn't be my issue. It's that at one point a person says, "Oh, getting I think what they call it, the change or transformation."
Transformation.
Getting transformation is just like a haircut, blah blah blah. But then you look around and everyone has the same haircut.
No one's ever gotten a haircut.
No one does anything differently. So even though you're the same model, there's a lot of the same cars on the road, but there's also many colors of those cars.
Or bumper stickers. Or something. They have name tags, as
and
if that's supposed
to. And they're forced to have name tags because no one
thing.
changes their hair, does anything unique whatsoever. And we see people in the servant kind of field have their hair up, and people that are rich jobless people
less beautiful.
have their hair down.
Yeah.
But they are the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it's a bit of even the
no
people.
different makeup, nothing crazy.
Even the people who are and that's again I hate the ending because it confused me because I'm a caveman.
Not even an ending.
Okay,
but let's wrap it up with it. She's got it. And she's fine. Got it.
Yeah. So I feel like this core idea and some of the details here. I wrote some stuff down that I'll just say now. All right, what the fuck is the ending? So everyone even says call me by my first name or you're making me feel old or whatever. There's all these cool little the writing behind this. Not what makes it into here. Not the plot of this episode.
The elevator pitch or
but I feel like it's kind of like that movie that I didn't see Justin Timberlake in time or whatever. Everybody said
a pretty good movie.
Okay, people usually say. Perfect. People usually say the premise is great, but as a movie, it's it just does its thing.
Has a pretty great first quarter.
Sure.
And then it kind of falls into traditional movie tropes.
Right. So this movie here, this episode of The Twilight Zone here, it even has that same stuff that Equilibrium had of Shakespeare's been banned and oh, you have to correct your thing. It has all those same dumb things in there whatever.
Let's revisit things they've said that are problems. So Shakespeare's been banned. I got that book from my father. You've had 9 fathers total. She's 18 years old. Did he give her these fucking books when she was 6?
She said, and I quote, he killed himself because once they took away his individuality, there was nothing left of him or something like that.
Would that have been at 18?
At 19, when you turn 19, like it happens. So I'm you're turning 19 now. How many years ago did this happen that you can remember this person who gave you books that are banned or whatever? And how old was he? Was he 26? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's
unless he lived for 50 years.
Things have changed since then, and it used to be different. This could be a technology they were just coming up with then because they said said it's gotten easier.
He says, like, the procedure must be conducted at the perfect time of the... Like, he does his...
Yeah.
Did you catch that, too, by the way? He's, like, a weird, like, psychiatrist type person.
His name is, like, his name is Freud or something?
His name is Sig, right? To hint of, like, the Freudian thing. So, like...
But no, but when he says his full name...
It's probably that,
It wasn't Sigmund Freud, but it was something very... It was, like, Freudman Sig or something.
Freudman Sig. That would be perfect.
I think that might have been it.
Yeah, so, like, that... I just caught the name tag and was like, oh, and he's doing the accent, and when he was the doctor, he had the Dr. Evil pinky, which I thought was hilarious.
Dr. Evil had his pinky.
No, I know, but that's what's so crazy about certain things when you go back in time. Like that's hilarious. And then I actually thought like, cause like same as you, I'm like, oh, he's like playing different characters. But some of them, like especially Siggy McFreuder Pants, was so over the top. I'm like, this is like acting school playing three characters. This is not like super good acting.
At the time though, that was normal acting, and I thought it was. Definitely overacting, kind of like theatrical acting. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
He's going to the back of the
community theater. He's his evil twin.
But no, I think really what told me was like the pinky thing. Because I was like, when he first did that, I was like, oh, obviously this is a tick thing he has to differentiate these characters.
So you know,
but the way he kept doing that and how he was doing it,
pointing with it and stuff.
I was like, yeah, everyone knows some idiot does a weird thing and how they do their weird thing.
Yeah.
And like it felt. I'm like, yeah, that stood out to me.
I agree on its face. I just wanted to call out that like at the same time I was still like, ooh, now you're a big brother sitting I think at the same desk as in the last space episode.
It was the
that was
it
the
was
same
the same desk as the earlier Doctor had.
Well, yeah, but like
But yeah,
that part makes sense. But that's where he says, well, "You're going to space," and he goes, "Space." Yeah. That's trippy.
Like I said, this is the cheapest episode.
I think it's the exact same thing.
Thing.
Good times.
And I don't know. When they first introduced you to that male, like, the number 16 or
17,
whatever the uncle was.
Don't besmirch his number.
He comes out and like he's wearing like a unitard thing to make him look like he's fit, and he pulls off this cape and like you're like, all right, he's like squeezed into that.
Yeah.
And they in moments before said peak physical condition.
Peak of physical condition.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? This guy looks like an idiot.
That scene actually made me think about how like even if everyone transformed at the age of 19, for the next for them 50 to 100 years, you would just naturally change
just
a little.
That body.
But they don't, right? That's like a part of it too. That's like
they're fake.
They're like maintaining this weird facade or whatever. The whole thing. I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, his thing of like he's obviously not. He looked like in that scene in particular because of the cape or whatever. He looked like a weird like the old Shakespearean stuff where he's like, I could defeat 100 men, and you're like, you're just a guy. It's like Family Guy skit of like you're just
wait till you breathe out.
Yeah, have to wait till you stand up, loosen your belt.
Was not impressed by that. I thought like if you're gonna hire the peak of physical male perfection,
he should be like a whatever.
It should be a bodybuilder or something. Like, and maybe it's harder to find bodybuilders that can act, but you have time.
Rod Serling mentions that at the end. I feel like that's part of how the ending fails, and we'll work backwards. Right? He says, "Portrait of a woman in love with herself." In a world of plastic surgery, bodybuilding, and cosmetics, is it really so hard to imagine? Not in the future, not in the Twilight Zone.
And I agree, like, with things, but if you just think about this time,
how does
what were the extent of cosmetic procedures?
This man's crazy. He's drinking eggs for breakfast.
What was the extent of bodybuilders? Bodybuilders then look like average dudes now.
Right, look like people who just have Instagram
that's just a guy
accounts.
that works on a farm. Like, that's a normal guy.
Or just people that go to the gym that have like Instagram accounts and are like, hey, gains.
No, honestly, those guys are a little better.
Not even that? Yeah,
because it was not a real chiseled cut thing. Like, you didn't get people looking like Rambo for quite some time.
Thicknesses or whatever.
Yeah, you were just like a bigger barrel chest and you were strong.
Sure. Holding up triangular weights and stuff. Yeah. So like, but working backwards from that, like I watched it twice. The scene where she talks to her friend and she breaks down. She says, "You don't understand. None of you understand. Whatever." Then we cut to like now it's later that night, and it seems like she's trying to escape because she is, right?
Yeah.
She's trying to escape, and she accidentally ends up.
When the nurse walks past her and she's like,
I'm a chameleon. She just disappears into the wall.
I was like, when you go through the transformation, do you lose your peripheral vision?
No, they don't have time. They're like sharks now. They just look straight ahead towards what's happening.
Insane to you too?
Yes. But she ends up it just happens to back into the wrong room.
Yes.
She's eyeballing like the door at the end of the hall, and we like repurpose the same set. We like move the lights, and we're like, now it's this part or whatever. Like you said, cheap.
Yeah.
But like she just wanders into the wrong room.
We've been expecting you.
And he goes, we've been expecting you, right? And you're just like, wait, but there was no point where her character chose that, so it seems like they're forcing her to do it.
Yes.
So like,
there's also a part
why
where
not?
she's first talking to her friend,
Yeah.
and it seemed like the friend was going to help her. She's like, all right, we'll do what we can. And you're thinking, oh, there's going to be something. My mind, writing the plot out, I'm like, okay, her friend's going to help her. Her friend's already gone through the change. Her friend's going to pop out, and it'll look like she got it. Because they all look exactly the same. And then she'll, go off to Panama or something.
She'll go live in the jungle with all the other ugly people. Yeah, with all the other trolls.
But, that was a weird line that meant nothing. It seemed like they're all mind controlled anyway. So
that's like
she even said that, because it didn't seem like they're doing a play along.
Well, she wants to help her realize that she needs to go through the transformation or whatever. Right? I don't know how else to interpret that. But did you feel a moment where, because she doesn't even say no, please, no, and turn around. She just stands there, maybe in shock. But it really read I was so confused. Yeah. I'm like, did she end up she didn't she didn't end up wanting it, but she also didn't resist when they were doing it to her at the very end.
Oh, she had.
So I don't know what the thing.
Oh, they got me into this room.
The door is closed. I have to get turned into a bimbo. Yeah. That's as it often happens.
They are peak physical condition, Lee.
They can stop her.
Possibly fight them.
That's true.
Makes sense.
I neglected to realize that. Okay.
Yeah, but not the best episode. I do think literally it was probably the cheapest episode of film.
That's interesting, yeah.
In the series.
Yeah.
And they've done stuff where it's just a bunch of toys in a garbage can.
And this still fell short of that. Yeah, maybe this is the point where they're cranking them out. This is, I don't know how many, halfway through the 5th season, the final season.
I forget how many episodes there were, but we're getting there.
They might have started
this was also they just came back from doing hour-long episodes, and they were like, we don't have enough money, just fucking shoot them out.
I feel like back in the day, they were like, horses, extras, go for it. And now they're like, hey, man, we got to start pinching these pennies here. What are we doing? We're going to count the Skrilla. What's Skrilla? You're hysterical. And it's like,
you're a potato pancake is smacking.
You turn up. I feel like, maybe they're trying to be a little more industrious with how the episodes flow or something like that.
And it feels that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there are a number of little moments and lines and things in here that I think make it a solid sci-fi story. But it just careens to an end where you're like, this, and now she's happy because she's had the transformation.
Yeah, she's mind controlled.
Yeah, we're supposed to walk around and think about, oh man, you think you can do whatever you want, but really you just have a few choices, and most people just kind of choose the same stuff. Oh man, or whatever. But
you think it's free will, but it's a recipe.
Yeah, but I feel like that could have been done so much better. Even without spending more money or spending more time. There's no moment where she's right? They just dub in her voice really poorly at the end.
Sure.
And there were several points because immediately I'm oh, they're gonna have twins in this episode, and they don't. They just have weird I'm standing way over here and you're standing way over there. I was even
impressed during that one shot with the mirror. I'm like, at least they mirror flipped it. I went right to the names, going this is just gonna be them, and they're just cut for another shot.
It's for them over there. Yeah. So there you go. It's certainly it fails for me in the mindfuck point, the morality tale thing, and was not super for its time it's so impressive. Like you said, some decent performances, but overall the story and the performances otherwise it's not.
When you think about an episode that has people playing the same person or whatever, I would totally go back to the train station episode with the doppelgangers.
Yeah, it made a very strong impression on you. I see
so much better.
Yeah.
Because you're oh, okay, I can see techniques. Or the one where there's the twins through the thing. It looks like there's there's a lot of cool episodes with doubles and this and that.
Or if you want hey, the world thinks this, but really that.
The Spaceman episode with I don't exist.
Okay, but the much more famous one, versus this one for many reasons, where she gets the plastic surgery and everyone else is ugly, and then it turns out they're also Nazis or whatever.
Well, that's also almost the same.
That's just a better version of this, right?
A better version of this.
We are in season 5, maybe.
The pink face.
Yeah, the weird lip curl people. So we're kind of winding down, and now we're producing episodes where I'm like, there's already a better version of this that you made, several seasons ago. So what are we doing exactly?
And in 3 seasons, in a few years, the Outer Limits will do it even better than that.
Even better with a 90s budget or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I know. Yeah. So this is another forgettable, right? We're not breaking any new ground or impressing us with this production.
Not at all. All right, guys. So that was this episode of the Twilight Zone. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.